Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Mark Stengler with our special guest, Dr. Bill Sears, well-known author and doctor. And we've been focusing on different segments with him in terms of his book he's co-written, The Healthy Brain Book, a tremendous book in helping people prevent and treat different brain conditions, mood problems, focus problems, memory problems, ADHD, Alzheimer's prevention and treatment, all of the big categories, very, very important. But in this segment, Dr. Sears, and it's an area you're very passionate about and you know very, very well, from the molecular basis to what the studies show to how to practically get this going in someone's diet. And that's how the right fats improve brain function. Tell us more about that.
Mark, you mentioned what used to be the bad word, fat.
Right.
Fat? All right, now, I want to start out by saying the dumbest nutritional advice ever to hit America that had no science behind it was low-fat diets.
And that came from cardiology originally, didn't it? From cardiology associations?
It did from misinterpretation of a bunch of data, or shall we say manipulation of a bunch of data. See, now we know that that fat does not make you fat. It's junk carbs make you fat. Smart fats are good. Now, what I like about science, so this has been shown, people who eat a smart fat diet and a low junk carb diet, they're leaner, smarter, and healthier. But you know, good science and common sense go together. All right, so my brain is mostly fat. Your brain, my brain, 60% fat. A baby brain's even greater, more fat. So we are all fat heads, mostly fat up here. So it makes sense if the greatest organ in our whole body is mostly fat, shouldn't we eat and nourish it with smart fats? So smart fat diet, thumbs up, like, not a low fat diet. So
and what's the in simple terms, what's the molecular basis of that? Would you say to the viewers, essentially these fats that we consume, and they're essential, so we have to get them in our diet or supplements, they make up the composition of our cells where messages are given between our brain cells, and memory is stored and retrieved and all that. Would that be a simple way of kind of summarizing?
That's exactly correct. There are really two ways for the brain, like you said. Point number one is every cell in your body and brain is only as healthy as the membrane surrounding the cell. The membrane is mostly fat. Smart membrane, smart fat, smart cell, healthy body. Secondly, the fatty tissue in your brain, if you can think of your brain as having almost 100 billion electrical wires, and those wires are heavily insulated, just like the heavier your appliances in your house, the more the insulation helps electricity flow faster. So to get your thoughts to flow faster and your actions to move faster, you want the electricity in your brain to flow faster, so you insulate those nerve fibers. What is insulation? Fat.
Right.
Fatty insulation. See, so that's why it makes sense. The better the fats, the better the electricity moves, the better the fats, the better the cell membrane. So that is the getting deeper inside, as you mentioned, is the reason why a smart fat diet is so healthy.
And you get very specific in the book on the best types of fats people should be consuming. Tell us more about that.
Yes, and that's why I say smart fats. Now, smartest fat, salmon. Salmon, because the smartest fats in salmon, omegas, especially omega DHA and EPA, are the smartest fats in the brain. So salmon's top. All right, good healthy seafood like wild salmon. Secondly, eggs, smart fats. Thirdly, avocado. Avocado is the smartest fat, the fats in the brain. Olive oil, the fats in olive oil and the other nutrients in olive oil are antioxidants for the brain. They keep the brain from oxidizing. and nuts. Nuts have healthy fats. So those are my 5 fats that I try to eat most of those every day. Those are now, junk fats are fats that have been manipulated by a factory. So you feed animals junk food, you get junk meat. You feed fish junk food, you get junk fish. You put junk fats into food and you get junk brains, a sad diet. So this is why I emphasize not only a smart fat diet, but as we get older, there's 3 things to remember. As we get older, we need to eat a diet higher in smart fats, medium in protein, and lower in carbs. Just the opposite of the standard American diet.
Right, right. Well, that's great advice, and that's what the science shows, definitely. So thank you, Dr. Sears, for all this information. I know we have another segment with you the viewers should look for at americasnaturaldoctor.com or YouTube or social media, and that is the 4 categories of foods that the happiest and healthiest people eat. Very, very interesting, very good science on that. I think people will learn some new information. So again, thank you, Dr. Sears. And again, the Healthy Brain book. Look for that on Amazon. Other booksellers really can make a tremendous difference in people's lives in terms of helping their mood and cognitive function. So thank you again, Dr. Sears.
Thank you, Mark.